How to measure success in business. 3 primary areas, we're going to hit them. As entrepreneurs and business owners, we know that if we have a clear plan, anything becomes possible. And if you can have a clear plan, a clear process to create that plan, and a way to create clarity with your partner or spouse, you can drive to amazing heights. All right, so when it comes to measuring success in business, I have had the good fortune to work with people all over the world, thousands and thousands of individuals. And I started my first of 16 companies when I was 19. So I built them, bought them, sold them, wrecked them. Measuring success, I'm familiar with. 3 primary areas. Number 1 are going to be around impact. And I look at impact internally. What has the impact been of this business for the individual who owns it, or organization that owns it, and its employees? We'll talk about that in more depth. Number 2 is going to be, what has the impact been externally? What is the product or service we've been delivering, and how has that helped and impacted and driven success for people? And then 3rd is revenue. That's why we're in the business. Is part of it maybe lifestyle, part of it may be a variety of different reasons, but ultimately revenue is what's going to be the lifeblood of it, whether it keeps it going or not. Okay, so when you start looking at numbers and metrics, if we're going to truly track success, well, there's leading indicators and lagging indicators. Leading indicators are the things that typically are the steps that lead into the lagging indicator. Lagging indicator would be the score at the end of the game. Leading indicator would be how many yards did we rush, how many passes were completed. What are those types of things? So you can look at different ways of metrics if you're actually looking to track those. But when you start looking at success, particularly for the impact internally can be if you're a solopreneur, which I'm very familiar with. I wrote a book on it, aspiringsolopreneur.com. You may start looking at it from a variety of ways for, is this providing the lifestyle that I'm looking for? Am I able to invest time and energy with my family as much as I want, have the flexibility, and I still make enough money that it's allowing me to do something that we can survive, and I'm doing something I enjoy? If you have employee surveys that say, hey, yeah, actually I really love working here. Knowing that you have that kind of impact, that to me is a huge, massive opportunity for people to find success. So that's an easy way to start measuring success. But you can look at what are the different ways that you're measuring success just internally, either for yourself, for the owners, but also for the organization and the members within the organization. Okay, the second piece then is externally. What is the impact? What is the positivity that we're having? How are we helping others? I worked with one organization that did a lot of the pharmaceutical testing for COVID. And these guys they beat themselves up hard going through and pushing on it. But the fact that they were able to do that testing, well, they were able to actually help save millions and millions of lives. That to me is fantastic. Now, it's that specific one is hard to quantify, to specifically measure, but there's no question you can say that company was very successful because they were able to have the base, they had the structure, they had the team, they had the scalability that allowed them to have a huge, massive impact for the people they're working with. So start thinking about those things. If you're a B2B person, how many businesses are you helping supply that are helping empower those people that they can measure their success internally? All right, and then the third thing, and I know this seems trite, but it is revenue. We're not doing not-for-profits. And when you make more money, you actually have the ability to give it away. You can scale it up, you can pull it internally, you can do bigger impact for people you work with. You get to choose what you want. But having some sort of revenue success, it's a critical metric to have and track. So this is very, very high level, but if you were wondering, hey, how do you measure success in business? That's it. So if you have questions, I do coaching with senior leaders and public CEOs around the world, but we go through and there's a gazillion different ways to measure and check these things out. But in essence, it comes down to what is the internal impact, the external impact, and the revenue. So if you found any value with this, hey, please subscribe, check out some of the other videos. If you have any questions, reach out. Keep smiling.